Today we're going to be talking about practical ways to actually transform your life. And you've probably heard about manifestation and law of attraction, quantum leaping. I mean, these are things that I also talk about when I'm sharing guidance with you guys. But I want to really just hone in on the practical things that you can do to genuinely transform your life. And a lot of the things I say all of them are from experience. All of them that I've tried and tested and used on my own journey. And so with that, I've got a list, so we're just going to go through it, okay? And this is going to be useful for you wherever you are on your journey of transformation. So whether you've just began, you've had your first spiritual awakening, or if you are well immersed in the process, you're going to find use from some of these things that I'm going to talk about. Firstly, you've got to make way for the new. So, when you have this vision and you have this dream and perhaps you meditate, which is the first thing that I did to connect with the version of me in the future and the person that I wanted to move into and embody. So, or maybe you use vision boards, maybe you're being inspired by the people around you. Whatever your situation is, firstly identifying who it is that you want to become. Because it's not a process of actually, I'm going to move into this space because I want to achieve something or to get something or to experience something. This is your life, and the most important thing about it is who you are as an individual. So, firstly, identifying who it is that you want to become. And in all transparency, when I first began my journey, I was hooked up on cosmic juice, and I was so immersed in the essence of just the universe. And it was such an exciting and just an exciting journey that I was ready to embark on, to achieve things and to do things and to experience things. And what I've realised along the way, that all of these things are great to add experience to life, but what matters most is who you are as an individual and the impact that you make on a daily basis, and how you show up for not only yourself, but for other people as well. So, how do you identify who it is that you want to become? Now, to be fair, I took quite a few routes, and so you may find resonance with some of the routes that I've taken, or you may also have things that you do right now to tap into who it is that you want to become. So, first thing is meditation, and third eye meditations, and crown chakra meditations, tapping into the Akashic records, and really visualizing who it is that you see yourself being. Now, if you meditate, or if perhaps you've had these experiences yourself, where you meditate, you tap into a future version of yourself, and for me, I still remember it as clear as daylight. I thought, there is no way on God's green earth that is who I am. And only through my own journey I've realised, oh no, that is who I am. I just wasn't aware that was who I was at that moment in time when I'd done the third eye meditation. So there's an element of trust in the visions that you receive, and knowing that when you're tapping into these energies and when you're tapping into these visions, that you can become that person, because it's part of you. And it's about taking the steps and identifying, okay, what is this future version of myself value? How do they show up? How do they take care of themselves? What do they do for work? How much money are they earning? What's their family situation? Their relationships? And, I appreciate that. As I say that, I do appreciate that can be somewhat of an overwhelming experience. And it's certainly been my experience, especially at the beginning, of, oh Lord, give me grace, because how am I going to go from where I am to this version of myself? And this is where slow and steady wins the race, and trusting in the actions that you take and knowing that they're going to compound, and eventually you're going to begin to embody and step into the version of yourself that you are seeing and that ultimately you want to become. So let's say, for example, you've done a meditation, or you have done maybe you've got a vision board, or you're inspired by the people around you. Okay, so you've identified an essence of who it is you want to become. How can you begin to bring that into the physical? How can you begin to embody who it is that you are seeing and who it is that you are feeling intuitively in the depths of your soul? And this is the fun part. This is the fun part. And if you are a creative person, or well, I suppose it is creativity, this is where you get to have fun. And I would recommend, now, go and have a look at your human design and check out if you are a specific manifestor or a non-specific manifestor, because this can really help with the process of building your ideal vision of life that you have. So if you're a specific manifestor, for example, then get a vision board, and this can be something that is in the 3D, if that's what suits you. This could be something on your phone cover that every time you look at your phone, you're tapping into that energy. This could be something that you have on your computer, or put it in your bathroom. Wherever it is that works for you, just go and get the inspiration from Pinterest, or from magazines, from newspapers, or wherever it is that you feel inspired, and begin to create that vision that you have for yourself. And it doesn't matter how you do it. What does matter is that you reflect on it, you go back to it, and you review it, and you tap into the energy that is present on the vision board, because it's an energetic frequency. So, years ago, I'm very much, I've got a wild imagination, let's just say. And I would tap into these ideas, and at that time, when I was, at the beginning of my journey, I didn't truly believe that I could embody that frequency, embody that energy. I wasn't quite convinced that it was who it is that I actually am. And this is where, again, it goes back to trusting yourself and tapping into the frequency as often as you can to begin to embody it, and until it just becomes who you are. Now, I did say that the last one was the fun part, but in all honesty, this is the fun part for me. I love this so much. It's my favourite thing to do, and I am genuinely surprised that I even own anything at this point. So the next thing is, get rid of the things that are not in alignment. Now, this is a process. Depending on what you've set your sights to achieve, depends on the gap between where you are and where it is you would like to be. Now, for me, I really did start right in the shallow end, and I had my sights set on a version of myself that I'd seen in a meditation, and I was so intrigued by this energy and genuinely thought, how am I supposed to do this? Now, what I did, and it may work for you, is over time, and I'm talking 2.5 years, so it hasn't been a quick journey, but it was a process of, okay, what is out of alignment with who I am at this time in this moment? Now, it wasn't a case of I need to achieve what it is that I see in the meditation right now, but all I've got to do is move closer to who it is that I see myself being. So this manifested as my home, gutting the place. What is in your home, and do the things that you own resonate with the vision that you have of yourself? What about the clothes you wear? What about how you show up? What about how you take care of yourself? What about your health? And all of these micro things ultimately, I can't think of the word really. What's the word? Collect into this form of who it is that you are becoming. And it's all of these things that add up. Again, it's the compound effect, which I would recommend you reading the book if you haven't already. So you may find that you will release a lot of things, maybe clear out your home to then embody a different frequency, buy new clothes for example, or begin to adopt new ways of being. And then you may get to a point where you are thinking, well, this isn't quite where I feel like I'm steady, but I want to move forward towards where it is what I want to see myself going. And it's a process, and only by the speed in which you travel and the effort and the energy that you put in, they're all going to contribute to how fast it's going to take for you to embody the version of yourself that you see yourself as being. And remember, if there are things that you are feeling out of alignment with, either externally or internally, then begin to try and find that alignment if you can where you are, and try not to put so much emphasis on the future, because the future never comes, and you will always find yourself where you are, and you are always whole where you are as well. So it's really, really, really important to note that, and I genuinely cannot press that enough. So just be mindful of that, and that you're not seeking something in the future, but you're allowing yourself to go through the motions and allowing yourself to transform where you are right now. So now you've got rid of the things that are no longer in alignment. We've blended into this already, but check in with the people that you surround yourself by, the experiences that you're having, and I can't read my own handwriting, your material possessions, which we've already covered, and how all of these things and situations make you feel. Because let's say, for example, I'll give you an example, which is a very basic one. I had this idea, I'm going to have a blog, and I'm going to enjoy writing my blog. But if I don't take the steps to write the blog, then I'm never going to have the blog that I want to write. So you've got to start with identifying where it is you are, and are you taking the action which is aligned with where it is that what kind of energy that you would like to have, the experiences which you would like to have. And the same goes for people and the people that you surround yourself by. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to pull a number out of thin air. And I think they say that you are like either the 5 people or the 8 people, one of them. The 5 or the 8 people that you surround yourself by. So it's really, 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 really important that you are surrounding yourself with people that are healthy, that are in alignment with you, that respect you, and where you can really embrace the essence of who you are. I wanted to say unsheltered. That's such a random word, but freely, embrace who you are freely, and really allow yourself to just embody the natural essence of you. Now, the next thing is working with energetics, and this is, I would consider, a very, very, very important one. And this is cleansing your energy. So we are energy beings, and every person that we interact with, we create an energetic connection with. So, and this is not only just people, but everything in the universe. We're so interconnected. And what is the energy exchange that you have between people and your experiences and the things that you own? Because all of these things are going to contribute to who you are as a being. So you can take some time to cleanse your energy, and I have some really, really great meditations. They're not mine personally, but they're ones that I highly, highly recommend, and I use regularly myself. And These are on my Instagram highlights, so you can go check those out if you feel called to. And just practice working with your spiritual hygiene as well. So how are you taking care of your spiritual health, your energy, and just be mindful of where you are putting your energy and putting your time, and how is that contributing to you stepping into a new version of yourself and allowing you to consciously release the old. Now the next one is again, I say all of these, they're so important, and these are why I've obviously written them down, because you can identify who it is you want to be, you can change your wardrobe, you can change the people you surround yourself by, but ultimately the change happens internally. And tapping into your inner self and how you show up for yourself and who it is that you are as an individual is what is the driving force behind all of this. So you can make the changes externally, you can take the action, but if things aren't changing internally, then what kind of mindset are you still in? And are you going to fall back into old ways of being, which, by the way, is part of the journey. But this is where the mindset work comes in. And this, depending on what your life experiences are, can depend on your ability to navigate it in a way which is going to be effective for you. So I mentioned, at the beginning that part of this is limiting beliefs that are coming up. One of my limiting beliefs when I saw this meditation was, there is no way, as I said, on God's green earth, that I am that woman. There's no way. I just, it was like an exciting, kind of intriguing feeling, but my limiting beliefs were telling me, there's no way, you're this and you're that. And I spoke to myself in such a, I want to say derogatory way. And the reason why I don't share, because I don't like to even put that energy out there. And so adjusting your mindset to how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you show up for yourself. And knowing, as I said at the beginning, if the universe has gifted you with a vision, and if you can tap in here, and you can feel it, and there's that bubbling of excitement and that intriguing energy of, let me just see, then follow it. Remember to tap into your intuition. And remember to keep your feet on the ground as well, and just begin to take the steps slowly and steadily, whilst working through your mindset and allowing things to come up as you continue on your journey. So a really, really, really great technique to identify what your limiting beliefs are is look in the mirror and say to yourself, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one on the top of my head. God damn. Think of something that you are trying to step into and that you don't wholeheartedly believe in yourself. And as you begin to say this, I want you to notice the voice that comes up. And I want you to notice what that voice is saying. So one of my voices was, there's no way I'm that confident. There's no way that I'm that confident and I'm just that free flowing and that I'm just myself in that energy. And yeah, at that time, those were the things that were trapping me in a state of being which were inhibiting me from actually stepping into the woman that the universe had gifted me that I can be. So look in the mirror or do a practice what works for you, whether this be journaling or speaking to a friend, family member, and begin to notice the voice and what that voice says. And trust that is not your voice, that is the conditioning and the limiting beliefs that are coming up, which are trying to keep you bound to a way of being that potentially may not be serving you anymore. So if you're experiencing limiting beliefs come up and limited ways of thinking or viewing the world, then again, how can you begin to just step into that version of yourself and take the action? Because anything that is new is going to challenge anything that is existing. And without challenging what is existing, then you're not creating space for your own expansion. So take the action. And I was about to say it again, this is my favourite bit. All of it's my favourite, because all of it is, been a massive, massive help on my own journey. But work with energy and transits. Now, when I first started, I was one of these people. It's like, yeah, I'm a Cancer sun. That's it, I'm a Cancer sun. And then I realised, oh Lord, I have a moon sign, I have a rising sign, and, the more I delved into my own astrological makeup, the deeper I was able to go. Deeper I was able to go myself. So if you are attuned to, using astrology or working with energy and the cycles of life and the way that the seasons turn, then you may find this really, really beneficial. But my point being that you've got to start somewhere. So whether, as I said at the beginning, whether or not you are at the beginning of your journey or you are far along your journey, working with transits and working with astrology and your own unique makeup can really support you in attuning to the cosmic energy and consciously moving forward in I wanted to say the word productive, but productive probably isn't the best word. An effective way, and a way which is going to be congruent to who you are and where you are and your own soul makeup. So begin to tap into the energy and feel underneath what is happening, and feel underneath and the insides and of who you are, rather than the surface level of the way that you are working and the way that you're operating in life at the moment. Begin to tune inwards. And as you tune inwards, you become attuned to your deeper senses. As you become attuned to your deeper senses, then you begin to work with yourself in a different kind of way. And you may find that it's beneficial for your own soulful expansion and working towards embodying different frequencies and evolving ultimately as the person that you are. So that is actually, in essence, my recipe for quantum leaping. And, I do look, the whole law of attraction thing, I understand it on essence, and I understand why people use it. But for me, and this is why I share this with you, the most important thing is really stepping into more expansive versions of yourself. And your own transformation and the ways in which you show up for yourself and the ways in which you can contribute to society and the ways that you can just ultimately grow and connect more deeply with your soul. So yes, the law of attraction, manifestation, quantum leaping, all of these are great. Again, just kind of bring it back to having a purpose for your transformation. Having a purpose for the reasons why you do what you do. And this purpose doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It can simply just be you becoming your favourite, healthiest version of self, which personally is what I would recommend. So, just to do a little recap, because I'm going to put it over here though, so I can actually read it whilst I'm doing this. It's probably that's not entirely helpful. So excuse me. Oh Lord, I'm gonna look down. We're gonna look down. So firstly, who do you want to become? Identify the version of yourself that you want to become. Secondly, begin to build an image and begin to build that reality in the quantum field, in your imagination. Now the next thing is to begin to remove things at your own pace, things that are not in alignment with this reality in which you are trying to embody. and get rid of things that are not in alignment. So check in with how people, experiences, and the material possessions that you own make you feel. And again, is this in alignment? And if it's not, okay, well, can you begin to release and make way for more energy, new energy to come in, which is in alignment? The next one, cleanse your energy. Look after your spiritual health, but look after your health in general, but look after your spiritual hygiene, and begin to strengthen and build that connection that you have with your inner self. And work through your mindset. This is the next one. Work through your mindset, work through the things that are coming up, and allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to release, allow yourself to go on the journey that you are called to go on, no matter what it looks like. And remember that your journey is very different to anybody else's journey that walks this earth. So remember, it's a sacred journey to you. And then take the action. So you're noticing things come up, work through them, and as you work through them, you're going to be releasing old paradigms, old ways of being, and in turn, making room for that expansion and allowing you to really step into who it is that you are. Not who you've been conditioned to be, but who it is that you are. And lastly, work with the energy in the transits, because the cosmos is just chef's kiss. Oh, it's been an absolute godsend. So as you work with the energy and you can tune inwards, begin to notice the subtle vibrational shifts that are not only occurring externally, but most importantly, occurring internally. And you can navigate your energy and begin to consciously work with it to then work with the universe and in the flow of the universe, and in turn helping you release the old and consciously embrace the new. So I hope that you found whatever we've spoken about, and I say that, we've just recapped. I hope that you found that useful, and I hope that you begin to take the steps or continue to take the steps, and remember, trust in the vision that you have, and the universe is always rooting for you, and you're right where you're meant to be. Remember to not put the reach too far, and that the goals in the future, or that joy or your life or anything is in the future, because the future never comes and everything is happening right now. Take the conscious steps, and I'm super proud of you. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and join me over on my blog as well, because I've got weekly blogs, podcast, and a lot of juicy stuff to support you on your conscious journey of expansion. So I'll leave it there, and have a great morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are.